Sorry, I got dog hair all over me. Uh, it's been an interesting week for me, that's for sure. I wanted to do this kind of update video. I think it's going to be kind of in two parts. So the first part will be about my weight loss challenge and how that's going, and a little change that I'm going to be making at least for the next maybe week or two. And then the second part is going to be more about kind of this channel and some thoughts I have about what I'm going to be doing going forward and the content and stuff like that. So if you're really only here for the challenge part, that'll be the first part. So where to start? So my oldest son is getting married in June, so less than a month now. And this past weekend, we planned a kind of guys, family, weekend bachelor party getaway kind of thing. It was a house on a lake that we rented. It was an Airbnb. We planned some activities. This was going to be from Friday to Sunday. Yeah, activities and obviously some beer and drinks and food and stuff. It's going to be a fun time. This past week, I've been kind of working myself up to this mentally. I've been doing well on my weight loss. I really wanted to try to make it through the weekend without gaining any weight. I brought my scale with me. I was prepared in how I was going to try to deal with things, and yeah, I was set. I was ready. Friday, before we left, I met with a guy who had placed an ad. He was looking for some help installing copper roofing. Now, I have no experience in copper roofing. I have very little experience in roofing in general, but I do have a lot of experience working around our house, building. I put up the drywall and stuff here in the gym, and like I'm fairly handy with tools and pretty quick learner. Wasn't really psyched about the idea of working on roofs, but I met with a guy. He's older than me. He's 63 years old, semi-retired. He works only half days. He even said, he's not 20 years old anymore. He doesn't go hanging off roofs or climb huge ladders. If he's got a tall roof to work on, he rents one of those hydraulic lifts, and everything. So I felt like it was a pretty good relationship. It wasn't a 20-something looking for, somebody with a lot of energy and everything, that maybe we'd work at the same kind of pace. So I met with him. Everything sounded good. He said, let's go ahead and give it a shot. He has a project starting this week. I believe we may be starting tomorrow. Today's Tuesday, so maybe starting tomorrow. So that's how we left it. Now, I go into this weekend. We got up there Friday. There was, we had some beers, some chips come out, and there was even a late night pizza. But I did really well. I didn't have any of the snacks. I didn't have any of the pizza. I had a few beers. I weighed myself Saturday morning, and this will come back to the job. I'll bring this back in just a second. So I weighed myself Saturday morning. Maybe I'll put my weigh in right up here. I weighed 203.4, which is exactly what I weighed Friday. So far so good. No weight gain. This is great, right? But I've had this job on my mind, and now the job, he said that he normally leaves his shop at about 6 a.m. And so I'd have to get up obviously earlier than that. I got to travel to his shop, then we ride in the truck to the job site. I'm currently doing a daily weigh-in video on Patreon. So I record my weigh-in, I record marking my chart, I edit the video, post it on Patreon. I'm not going to be able to do all that before I leave in the morning. Whenever I am working, he doesn't work in the rain, doesn't always have a job available, so it's not every day. But knowing that we were going to work this week, I really wouldn't be able to do that this week. So this was on my mind Saturday mostly, and so I came up with an idea, kind of a dangerous idea, dangerous in the sense of my weight loss. But I thought to myself, well, if I can't really do a weigh-in video, I mean, I could still weigh myself, and I could still mark my chart and everything, do the daily weigh-ins. But I thought, why don't I try weighing myself once a week, like a lot of people have talked about. I've never done that. I've only ever weighed myself every day or not at all. So that's what I decided. And I say it's dangerous because obviously if Saturday was my last weigh-in and I'm not weighing myself for another week, that kind of gives me leeway to eat more on Saturday, which I did. Eat more, drink more. Sunday was Mother's Day. Did some more of the same. We had some people over. Even Monday, yesterday, didn't really stick to my diet totally. Today, now we're on Tuesday. I feel like I'm kind of back, I'm back in the swing of things. And so my goal, is to weigh myself this coming Saturday. Would like to just, I think, get back down to where I was last Friday. And that's mostly because with this job, I don't know how strenuous it's going to be. I don't know how tired I'm going to be. Yeah, we're probably only working half days, but I'm not going to be lifting weights this week. I'm not going to be going on long walks. I'm going to be making sure I get my sleep because, again, I don't know how strenuous it's going to be. I don't know how much I'm going to be working, and I kind of just want to, feel out the job first. So that means I'm not going to be burning as many calories this week. It's going to be difficult. I know I gained weight. How much, I'm not really sure. Obviously I still have a lot of the food in my system that has to go through. I don't know. So, in a way, I feel like it is kind of a cop-out, for me to be able to say, okay, I'm just not going to weigh myself and so I can eat more. I don't like that aspect, but at the same time, I felt like, if I weigh myself and I have this big spike on my chart, is that going to be more helpful to me or more hurtful? Am I going to be more demoralized? I know I gained weight. Is it going to help me to know what the number is? In the past, I always said yes. Just face reality and mark your chart, and who cares? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being naive and talking myself out of the reality of weigh-in. But I feel okay. I don't feel like I gained a ton. I feel like I have a good shot at being able to get that back down to my weight or close to it by Saturday. Also, picking Saturday as a weigh-in, says, hey, I'm gonna be more mindful on Friday, like Friday night. I'm not gonna be like drinking a bunch of beers and eating a lot of chips and snacks and stuff because I got my weigh-in Saturday. So I did that kind of on purpose to make sure I don't, I stick with things. So that's my plan for the next, at least this week, if not next week or a couple weeks, to just try to weigh myself once a week just to see how things go. Again, it's going to be dependent on this job. And if I can come up with a different schedule to get back to a daily weigh-in, I was thinking I could weigh myself, record everything, and then just work on it later in the day, upload it later in the day. So that's another possibility. But anyway, so that's the first part. That's where I stand on my challenge and my weight loss and how things are going to be playing out over the next couple weeks. So as far as this channel and kind of my thoughts, my ideas, and some future content. Something I haven't ever really talked about the analytics of this channel and that kind of stuff. But I think for this next part, I really probably need to switch to my computer and just show something that happened over this past year. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. This is a quick view of YouTube Studio for my channel. And I wanted to just point out a couple things in particular 3 videos of mine from last year. Starting with the video that I posted, I quit my job to save my life. This was posted on August 20th of 2021. So I'm gonna go ahead and click into the video analytics. And there's a couple things in particular I wanna point out. So I'm on this Reach tab under video analytics. And right now I'm looking at the impressions. This is the graph of the impressions since the video was published on August 20th. And an impression, for maybe anybody who doesn't know, is anytime this video, in particular like this thumbnail, shows up on somebody's screen, whether they're doing a search or it shows up on your home page or in suggested videos, you can see a list of the traffic sources down here that make up the number of impressions. But this is the graph of the impressions. And then there's another statistic here, impressions click-through rate. And what that identifies is the percentage of time that this video actually gets clicked on when it is shown in front of somebody. So this one has an average click-through rate of 6.8%, and you can see this is the graph since it was published, and this is fairly typical, I think, of videos of mine. What I'm going to do though now is jump back and show you the video that I posted just before that video. So this video, I quit my job to save my life, posted on August 20th. The video I posted before that one was called In Search of Dumbbells. I posted on April 11th. So if I click into the analytics on this video and go to the same tab, you can see the impressions on this one, right? A nice steady increase until, wow, look at that, at the end of August 20th. And then the impressions just flatline. If I look at the impressions click-through rate, which is even more interesting, you see how this video was performing well. This is when it was posted right here, performing really well until, look at that, August 20th. The date that I posted the video, I quit my job to save my life. And after that, the impressions click-through rate flatlines. And just to show that this wasn't a fluke, it wasn't just a one-time thing, I'll go to the video that I posted before that one. So this is the first one I looked at. This is the second one, In Search of Dumbbells. The video before that I posted in January of 2021. It was just a weigh-in video. Go to the analytics, go to the reach tab. Look at that, same thing. Nice steady increase here on impressions until August 20th, right? Then it flatlines. Looking at the impressions click-through rate, which was even higher on this one, moving along nice and steady, good impressions click-through rate, until, look at that, August 20th, it crashes and then flatlines. So the fact that the impressions click-through rate just fell off a cliff on those two videos on the exact same day, I can only come to one conclusion, and you know, if somebody knows the analytics more than me, feel free to correct me on this. But the only thing I can think, and it makes sense with the video that I posted in August saying that I quit my job, is that YouTube started putting my video in front of a different audience, or started putting those two videos from early in the year in front of a different audience. And it was an audience that wasn't as interested in health and fitness and weight loss, which is what those two videos were mostly about. And so as soon as you put it in front of a different audience who are not as interested, obviously the percentage of people who click on it is going to fall drastically. And it did that on the exact day that I posted that video that I quit my job. And it does make sense, because what does that video of me quitting my job have to do with weight loss as far as YouTube is concerned, right? YouTube probably doesn't see the connection. For me, there's a huge connection. I quit my job is one of the biggest things I've done as far as my health and my mental health, my physical health, and my future. But YouTube doesn't see it, and so they I think flipped the niche for my channel, and they started putting my videos in front of a different audience. And my channel has basically flatlined since then. I've been putting different videos out, since quitting my job. But this kind of goes back to this new job I'm getting as well, because I quit my job and was trying to make the YouTube thing work, along with eventually going into Patreon and t-shirts and affiliate marketing, that kind of stuff. But shortly after quitting my job, I hurt my back, which set me back a little bit. And I had only planned out through November with money that we had, and I thought, if the channel doesn't pick up, or I can't really do this full time by the end of November, that I would start looking for another job. Well, November turned into December, turned into January, and February. Now we're in May, right? We've been using money that we did not intend to use for probably 6 months. And I've been holding out hope. I've been trying to do different things with the channel and trying to turn things around, because I knew this idea that I think YouTube saw my channel in a different light. So I've kind of been fighting against that, trying to bring things back, but it just hasn't been working. And so I really kind of have to get another job, at least for the time being, to make ends meet, because we're kind of at the end of our rope with money. So that's kind of what prompted, the job. As far as the content and the fact that I posted that video, that I quit my job, there's a couple things I could do. And I've seen some videos explaining how some people have had a problem with their niche on YouTube, and audience changes and stuff. And so what they've done is they've gone back and they've unlisted videos that maybe stray away from their niche, of their channel. And that seems to have worked for some people, where they narrow down by unlisting the videos. You take them out of your whole group of videos for your channel, and it kind of narrows it down to what your topic is about, as far as YouTube. But that's a possibility. But when I think about removing those videos, and there's other videos that I've done that are more personal stuff, I guess, our cruise videos, Vlogmas. Now, I've always tried to add some sort of health and fitness aspect into them, but yeah, when I think about removing those videos, it just doesn't feel right. It's part of my journey. It's part of, and just because YouTube doesn't see the connection between me quitting my job and my mental health or my physical health, doesn't mean I should sacrifice my thoughts and ideas behind the whole thing. You know what I mean? That's just the part that I can't get past. And I probably could follow, the YouTube analytics and remove content or change my content to try to appease what would grow the channel. But I don't want to do that. Everything that I've posted on this channel is part of my journey, and I really want to keep it there. So, what does that mean for me in YouTube? It might just mean that I'll never make it full time, that I'll be always confusing YouTube on who to put my videos in front of and what kind of niche am I doing, or what kind of whatever. I don't know. But another idea came up recently for me, and this was kind of, I guess, partially prompted by another channel that I followed for years. The channel originally was called Danny Gets Fit. It's Danny Mabley, who lost a lot of weight, was really into weightlifting, bodybuilding. I believe he might have done a bodybuilding competition at one point. But at one point, Danny got married and had a child, so he changed his channel name to Fat Loss and Family, which is, I think, the way it was for for several years. And just recently, though, I noticed that his channel name changed again. It was probably within the last couple weeks or month or so, to Danny Mabley. And I feel like that's right for him, because his channel, while yeah, there's a lot of health and fitness and nutrition aspects to it, but his channel is about him and his journey and getting married and having a child, and I don't know, maybe that's what I need to do. You know, I mean, I've this channel name, Working Things Out, it's been the way I've had it ever since, but maybe this channel is really just about me and my journey, and maybe, you know, I it's not like I would be giving up on the health and fitness aspects. That's a huge part of what I who I am, but maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should be changing this channel name to my own personal name. I don't know. It's just an idea that obviously it's I've thought of, and I don't know. So I guess my question is, for anybody who's watched the video all the way up until now, what would you think if my channel name all of a sudden changed and it was just my personal name? Would you unsubscribe, stop watching videos? I would guess that there are probably people that are really only here for me to come up with some sort of, you know, plan for people about what to eat and how to eat and when to work out, and like a plan like that, and you're only here for the nutrition aspects of it, and maybe don't want a vlogging channel, you know, where I just vlog about different things and life and in general. Personally, me, I think that's the whole key. I think the topics like this past weekend, how do you deal with the social aspects of weight loss, and how do you deal with situations where you have these things, and you know, like food and alcohol, and how do you maintain your own personal like fitness goals and things when it comes to that kind of stuff. To me, that's all of weight loss. Like, you can follow intermittent fasting or keto or carnivore diet or vegan or whatever, but these are just mental, these are just things your mind has come up with. It's not reality. Your mind doesn't deal with reality. It's the reality of things that is the biggest aspect to your health and maintaining that. And I feel like maybe that's what I can do through vlogging. I don't know. So anyway, I'm curious what you would think. If my channel name changed, would you just unsubscribe and click off? Would you like it more? It could be the kiss of death for me too with YouTube. It could completely throw them off, and they may have no idea what this channel is even about, and may not show my videos and put it in front of anybody. I don't know. But in a way, I do kind of feel that I may be giving up on the idea of doing YouTube full time. And you know, maybe that's what I need, is to just go back to just not really worrying about, is this video going to be put in front of a lot of people? What kind of ad revenue is it going to get? And you know, and I just focus on my own health and fitness and dealing with life. You know, maybe that's the best thing for everybody. So I don't know. Haven't decided yet. But anyway, if you have watched this video all the way to this point, I thank you. You are a dedicated viewer, that's for sure. You know what, maybe I'll do something, another channel that I've known about for years, Fat Meets Fire. He has just recently come back. He was away for 5 years. This pains me to say, but he's actually gained more subscribers in the 5 years that he's been gone off YouTube than I have in total. So that should tell you something, I guess, right? Anyway, so he just recently came back. Actually, if you don't know his channel, maybe I'll put a link in the description. It's just Fat Meets Fire. He's dealt with a lot. He's gained a bunch of weight, but he's come back on YouTube and trying to lose it. And so, yeah, I'm really enjoying, you know, seeing him come back. Anyway, in one of his recent videos, he said if you watch this video all the way to the end, and if you leave a comment, put 1, 2, 3 in the comments. Just 1, 2, 3 as the beginning of your comment. I'm curious to know, which is what he said as well, how many people actually watch this all the way through. Yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for this week's video. Talk to you next week.